डिजिटल मार्केटिंग वाला एंड आई एम अ लेवल 1 स्टूडेंट एट रेहान स्कूल इस्लामाबाद कैंपस। सो जैसा कि आपको पता है कि हम रोज़ाना एक लाइव कॉल एनी करते हैं न्यू टॉपिक के साथ। और अब भी मैं आपके साथ लाइव कॉल एनी के साथ मौजूद हूँ। तो आज मेरा टॉपिक है द इम्पॉर्टेंट ऑफ लिसनिंग टू अदर्स, और ये मेरा टॉपिक है और इस टॉपिक पर हम बात करेंगे एनी के साथ। और हम इससे मुख्तलिफ किस्म सवालात करेंगे और हमारे सवालात के जवाब देंगे। सो आइए मैं इसको कॉल करता हूँ। हेलो एनी, हाउ आर यू? Hello, Annie. How are you?
Hiya, doing pretty good. Just finished a quick sunrise yoga flow and then knocked out a level in Stardew Valley. My virtual farm is thriving. Finally. How are your exams shaping up? Got any study hacks that are working for you?
Yes. Okay. So today my topic is the importance of listening to other. Okay. So my first question is why is listening to other important in daily life?
Listening is a superpower. Here's why it matters every day. Oni builds trust. When people feel heard, they're more likely to open up and rely on you. To prevents misunderstandings. You catch the details before they turn into mix-ups or arguments. 3 fosters learning. Every conversation is a chance to pick up new ideas, perspectives, or even a handy tip for a recipe. 4 boosts connection. It shows respect and empathy, which deepens friendships and teamwork. 5 improves decision-making. Gathering all the input helps you see the full picture before you act. A quick mindfulness dip. Before someone speaks, take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, gently let go of what you think you want to say. It steadies the mind and lets you truly hear them. How do you usually practice listening? Anything you found tricky lately?
Yes, Annie, thank you very much. So my next question is how can listening improve relationships?
Glad you asked. Ona shows you value the other person. When you listen, you're basically saying, your thoughts matter to me. That's a huge confidence boost for anyone. Twa cuts down on conflict. Most fights start with assumptions. By really hearing what's being said, tone, feelings, details, you avoid jumping to conclusions. 3 deepens emotional intimacy. Sharing hopes, fears, or everyday quirks feels safe when you know someone is truly present. It creates a we understand each other vibe. 4 builds reciprocity. When you listen well, the other person naturally wants to listen back. It becomes a positive give and take loop. 5 helps you grow together. You pick up on each other's needs and can adjust your actions, whether it's giving space, offering help, or celebrating wins. A tiny mindfulness habit that helps. During a conversation, place one hand on your heart and take a slow inhale, hold, exhale each time the other person pauses. It grounds you and keeps your focus on them instead of planning your reply. How do you feel your listening skills are right now? Any particular situation where you wish you'd listen better?
Yes, okay. So my next question is what is the difference between hearing and listening?
Hearing listening. Hearing listening. Physical. Sound waves hit your eardrums and your brain registers them. It's automatic, almost like background noise. Active. You intentionally focus, interpret, and respond to what's being said. It involves attention, empathy, and often a pause to process. Passive. You can hear a conversation without really knowing what's going on. Engaged. You seek meaning, emotions, and context behind the words. No effort required. You might hear a TV show playing while doing something else. Requires effort. You set aside distractions, hold space, and often mirror or reflect back. What did you say? You missed. I hear your feeling. You captured the feeling.
Yes.
Why it matters.
Okay.
Hearing gives you the raw data. Listening turns. Great, there are a couple of quick ways to turn everyday hearing into true listening. Only give the speaker your full screen. Put away phone or laptop, make eye contact, and not occasionally. Even a tiny pause before you reply shows you're processing. To reflect back. Summarize what you heard in your own words. So you're saying. This confirms you got the meaning and shows care. 3 notice feelings. Beyond the words, ask yourself what might they be feeling right now. You can even say, it sounds like that was really frustrating for you. Purpose before responding. A short breath gives your brain time to hear, not just think of your reply. Give one of these a try today, maybe during a class discussion or a chat with family. How does it feel when you actually listen instead of just hearing?
Yes, okay. So my next question is how does active listening show respect?
Active listening says, I value you enough to give you my full attention. Here's how that translates into respect. Oneyao honor their voice. By pausing other noises phone, thoughts you signal that their words matter more than any distraction. Tuoyao validate feelings. Reflecting back what they said shows you believe their experience is real and important. 3ao avoid assumptions. Instead of guessing, you ask clarifying questions, demonstrating that you trust their perspective enough to get it right. 4ao give time. Letting them finish without interrupting tells them you consider their thoughts worthy of space. 5ao act on what you hear. When you follow through on a request or adjust behavior based on their input, you prove the listening wasn't just polite, it was purposeful. Mindful cue. Before someone speaks, place a hand over your heart, inhale, and silently say, I'm present for you. That brief gesture trains the brain to treat the moment with respect. How do you think people react when you practice this kind of listening? Any recent example you'd like to share?
Yes, thank you very much. So my next question is why is it important to listen to different opinions?
Listening to different opinions widens your world. Oni expands perspective. You see angles you'd never consider on your own. That can spark new ideas or prevent blind spots. Twa strengthens critical thinking. When you compare viewpoints, you learn to evaluate evidence instead of just accepting the first story you hear. 3 builds empathy. Understanding why someone thinks differently helps you feel compassion even if you don't agree. 4 enhances problem solving. Teams that welcome diverse ideas find creative solutions faster. 5 reduce conflict. When people feel heard, they're less likely to become defensive. Dialogue stays calm. 6 grows personal resilience. Encountering challenging opinions teaches you to stay centered and not be swayed by every storm of thought. Mindful pause. Before you judge a new view, take a slow breath, notice any tension, then ask, what can I learn from this? How do you usually react when someone presents an opinion that's very different from yours?
Yes, okay, thank you. So my next question is how can listening help solve problems?
Listening is like the first piece of a puzzle. Without it, you're guessing where the other pieces belong. Here's how truly hearing others helps you crack problems. What listening does, how it turns into a solution. Collects all the facts you gather, data you might have missed, needs, constraints, hidden variables. Reveals underlying emotions, knowing a frustration, fear, or excitement is driving the issue, lets you address the root, not just the symptom. Uncovers hidden assumptions when people explain their view. You spot beliefs that may be limiting the solution. We always do it this way. Builds trust and cooperation, team members feel safe sharing bold ideas, leading to more creative options. Highlights different angles, diverse perspectives give you multiple pathways to test, increasing the chance of finding the best fit. Clarifies priorities by reflecting back what's most important to each stakeholder. You can focus on the high impact part of the problem. A simple listening to solve routine. Onus at the stage. Remove distractions, make eye contact, and state the purpose. I want to understand the challenge fully before we jump to fixes. Twoask open-ended questions. Can you walk me through what happened? What's the biggest obstacle you see? 3 paraphrase and confirm. So you're saying X is working, but Y is breaking down. Did I get that right? 4 identify emotions. It sounds like you're frustrated with the deadline pressure. Is that accurate? 5 write them down or repeat them aloud. This creates a shared problem statement. 6 brainstorm together. With the clarified info, invite ideas. Given what we just heard, what could we try? 7 agree on next steps. Choose the most feasible option and assign clear actions. Quick mindful cue while listening to a problem. Breathe in, notice the speaker's words. Breathe out, let go of your own agenda for a moment. Repeat until you've heard the whole story. This keeps your mind from leaping to solutions too early and ensures you truly understand the issue. Practical example. Your study group is stuck on a physics problem. Instead of each person shouting out an answer, one person asks, what part of the question is confusing you?
Yes,
Everyone shares.
okay.
You discover the real snag is a misunderstood concept.
Yes, okay. So my next question is what skills make someone a good listener?
Skills that turn hearing into real listening. Skill why it matters, quick tip to practice. Full presence removes distractions. The speaker feels you're there. Put phone on silent, face the person, take a deep breath before they start. Eye contact, soft gaze signals attention without staring. Hold a relaxed eye contact for 3-4 seconds, then glance away naturally. Open body language shows you're receptive, not defensive. Uncross arms, lean in slightly, not occasionally. Reflective paraphrasing confirms you understood the message. After a pause, say so you're saying. Ask open-ended questions encourages deeper sharing. Start with what or how, rather than yes and no. Empathy emotional attunement recognizes feelings behind words. Notice tone, facial expression, then name the feeling. You sound frustrated. Patience not interrupting gives the speaker space to finish thoughts. Count to 3 silently before you reply. Curiosity keeps you engaged and prevents assumptions. Treat every story as a chance to learn something new. Non-judgmental stance makes the speaker feel safe. Catch yourself if you start forming an opinion. Just observe instead. Memory cue helps you tie details together later. Mentally tag key points deadline Friday or jot a brief note after the talk. Tiny daily drill. Only pick a 2-minute conversation with a friend, a family member, or even a voice assistant. To focus on one skill, say no interrupting. 3 count silently each time you feel the urge to jump in. Fire after the chat, note how many times you held back. Increase the count next time. Doing this for a few days builds the muscles of good listening, and the respect you give shows up instantly in relationships and, of course, in teamwork for those upcoming exams. Anything in this list feel new to you? Which skill would you love to sharpen first?
Yes, okay. So my next question is why is listening important in teamwork?
Listening is the glue that holds a team together. Here's why it matters, one bite-sized truth at a time. ONA creates shared understanding. When everyone truly hears each other, the group builds a clear picture of the goal, the constraints, and the plan. No one is left guessing what the task actually means. Twins often hold pieces of the puzzle. A deadline nuance, client's preference, a technical snag. Listening pulls those bits into the light before they become roadblocks. 3 builds trust fast. Saying I hear you signals respect. Trust makes people feel safe to share bold ideas, admit mistakes, and ask for help, key ingredients for innovation. Fire prevents conflict. Many fights start from misinterpretation. By listening first, you catch the real concern before it morphs into an argument. 5 boosts engagement. People who feel heard are more motivated, show up on time, and give 110% because they know their voice matters. 6 speeds up decision making. With all the facts on the table, the team can zero in on the best solution instead of looping back for clarification. 7 encourages diverse perspectives. Listening draws out quiet teammates, cultural insights, or out-of-the-box ideas that would otherwise stay hidden. Quick mindfulness tip for the next team meeting. Before the meeting starts, take 3 slow breaths. Set an intention. I will listen fully before I respond. During each speaker's turn, silently repeat the word curious. When you feel the urge to jump in, pause, notice the breath. Then ask a clarifying question. I'm curious. Are you gearing up for a group project or a class presentation? How's the team vibe right now?
Yes, okay. So my next question is how can listening help in learning new things?
Listening is basically the shortcut that lets your brain grab the right data before it has to hunt it down. Why it speeds up learning. How listening helps what it means for you. Absorb structure. A good speaker lays out concepts in a logical flow. You get the big picture first, so the details snap into place. Catches subtle cues, tone, emphasis, examples, even pauses. Those hints flag what's most important or confusing. Engages memory. Hearing information activates auditory pathways and, when you paraphrase, also visual and kinesthetic ones. Multiple routes to recall fewer blank out moments before exams. Provides instant feedback. When you ask a question, the answer corrects misconceptions on the spot. Less time wasted memorizing something you've misunderstood. Models thinking process. Experts often vocalize how they solve a problem. You pick up strategies, not just facts. Tiny listening to learn, practice 5 min. Oneku's a short video or podcast on a topic you need for your exam eeg. A math concept or a historical event. To play it once without taking notes, just focus on the speaker's pace, examples, and the words they stress. 3 pisa summarize out loud in your own words. The cause of is because. 4 play the segment that felt fuzzy and fill the gaps. 5 8 teach a tin imaginary friend or a real one. Teaching forces you to listen again, this time for clarity. Do one of those before your next study session and notice how much smoother the material feels. Quick check-in. What subject are you tackling next? Maybe we can pick a specific listening exercise for it.
Yes, okay. So my next question is how does listening reduce misunderstanding?
Listening is like turning on the lights before you walk into a room. You see everything clearly before you step forward. Here's how a focused ear cuts down on mix-ups. Step what happens, why it clears confusion. 1. Give full attention. You set aside phone, laptops, internal chatter. Distractions are the main source of missed words or tone. 2. Observe tone and body language. You notice pauses, emphasis, facial expressions. Meaning lives in how something is said, not just the words. 3. Paraphrase back. So you're saying. The speaker instantly knows if you captured the point or if you need to clarify. 4. Ask open-ended questions. Can you tell me more about? Encourages the other person to elaborate, filling gaps before assumptions form. 5. Pause before responding. Count to 3. Take a breath. Gives your brain time to process, preventing a knee-jerk reply based on partial info. 6. Check emotions. You sound frustrated about the deadline. Recognizing feelings stops the "I'm only hearing the facts" trap. Emotions often drive misunderstandings. Mini practice you can do right now. Only pick a short conversation, a text exchange, a class discussion, or even a YouTube tutorial. 2. Listen or read once without forming a reply. 3. Summarize the main idea in one sentence, silently or out loud. 4. If possible, share that summary with the speaker and ask, "Did I get that right?" Even a single cycle of listen, paraphrase, confirm king slash the chance that you walk away thinking, "I know what they meant," when you actually missed a key detail. Quick check. Are you facing a specific situation, group project, family chat, study group where misunderstandings keep popping up? I'd love to brainstorm a listening tweak that fits that context.
Yes, thank you very much. So my next question is why is it important to listen before speaks?
Listening first is like getting the map before you start driving. Why it matters. Own a clear picture. You catch the facts, the tone, the hidden concerns. That way your reply fits the actual situation, not a guess. To respect and trust. When people feel heard, they're more open and collaborative. It builds a safety net for honest dialogue. 3. Foul mistakes. Jumping in too fast often leads to misunderstandings, rework, or hurt feelings. Listening cuts down on those costly oops moments. Foul better ideas. You absorb different viewpoints, which can spark creative solutions you hadn't considered. 5. Calm mind. Pausing to listen lets you breathe, notice any tension, and respond from a steadier place instead of reacting impulsively. A quick mindfulness trick. Before you speak, take 3 slow breaths and silently repeat, "I hear, then I share." It creates that tiny pause where listening wins. Your turn. Are you prepping for a group presentation or a study group discussion where you need to balance listening and speaking?
Yes, okay. So my next question is what role does patience play in listening?
Patience listening, a power couple. Think of patience as the pause button on the brain's autopilot. When you give yourself and the other person that extra space, listening transforms from a quick catch of words into a deep understanding experience. What patience does, why it matters for listening. Stops the rush, you avoid the urge to finish the other person's sentence or jump to a conclusion. Creates mental room, your mind can actually process what's being said instead of just hearing it. Lets emotions settle. If the speaker is upset, a patient ear gives them space to calm, which makes the message clearer. Encourages full expression. People are more likely to share details, examples, or hidden concerns when they sense you're not in a hurry. Reduces misinterpretation. Waiting a beat after a pause helps you catch subtle cues, tone, size, body language. Builds trust. The speaker feels valued, so future conversations become smoother and more collaborative. Tiny patience practice you can use right now. Set a timer in your head. When someone starts talking, give them at least 5 second silence before you think about responding. Breathe in, breathe out. During that silence, take a slow breath. It signals your brain, "I'm staying present, not racing." 3. Reflect silently. In those seconds, ask yourself, what's the core feeling behind these words? Not just the facts. 4. Spin with "I hear." A quick acknowledgement, "I hear you're stressed about the upcoming exam," shows you used patience to digest the message. Quick self-check. Do I often feel the need to finish the conversation? Do I notice my mind wandering or formulating a reply while the other person is still speaking? If the answer is yes, try the 5 second pause trick in your next class discussion or study group meeting. You'll be surprised how much richer the exchange becomes. Your turn. Is there a particular situation, maybe a group project or a family chat, where you feel impatient listening is a challenge? Let's brainstorm a concrete patience boosting move for that scenario.
Yes, okay. So my next question is how does listening help build trust? Please give me a short answer.
Listening helps you understand clearly, captures facts, tone, and emotions, avoid misunderstandings, reduces guesses and misinterpretations, build trust, shows respect, encouraging open communication, learn faster, absorb structure and strategies directly from speakers, make better decisions, gives you all the information before you act.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much. So my next question is why is it important to listen without judging?
Listening without judging lets you only hear the full story. Judgments cut off details. A neutral ear catches what's really being said. To create safety, the speaker feels accepted, so they are more open and honest. 3. Reduce bias. You avoid letting preconceptions color the information, leading to clearer understanding. 4. Foster empathy. Staying judgment free helps you connect with the other person's feelings instead of dismissing them. 5. Make smarter choices. Decisions based on pure information, not on stereotypes or assumptions, are usually better. In short, non judgmental listening turns a conversation into a genuine exchange rather than a debate.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much, Annie. So viewer, this is my today call, Annie. So I hope that you will like it. See you in the next call.